What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about PHP and why it's the number one backend language to learn for beginners or for people who actually want to build stuff and get stuff done, ship products, build a digital empire, or whatever. If you want to work for a company, even or freelance, PHP is the king. Okay? Talk about the elephant in the room. Get it? So the number one reason why you want to learn PHP is, guys, it was literally built, its whole inception was to work for the web and with web technologies. It's built to integrate with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript seamlessly. You don't have to download a bunch of packages. You don't got to do complicated runtime apps like you do with Node.js. Everybody's teaching Node. I still don't get why. If you have any if you do your research on like actual web development and building products, you would never touch that with a 10-foot pole, dude. Okay, it's a lot more complicated to learn Node. It's a lot more complicated to hop into something like Java. Java is a much more verbose language. It's a solid backend language, but again, not nearly as easy to write and integrate as PHP is. And then you have your Pythons, which, again, like Node.js, it's more of a general purpose programming language, was not really built for the web like PHP was. So yes, you can build stuff with Python, but it wasn't built for that, and you have to do some workarounds to make it work well. PHP, it's easy, it's the king, okay? The world runs on PHP, guys. So if you don't believe me, check this out. What percentage of the web runs on PHP? This isn't from me, okay? Exact figures vary slightly. 74 to 78% of all websites where server-side language can be identified run on PHP. They're using PHP, guys. It runs on PHP. I know there's the YouTube web developer, like course creator ecosystem is all about putting PHP down and promoting Node.js. The big reason why, honestly, guys, everybody teaches Node is because they don't know PHP, and to make their own life easy, they want to just teach a whole JavaScript course and not have to switch languages ever. So they'd rather just stick with JavaScript and teach you Node because it actually makes their life easy. And then they're getting the dual benefit of marketing because their marketing is still even though it's not really new anymore, it's still the cool new thing. So it's like marketing too. And if you don't know any better, you'll just eat that right up. When I first started learning programming, I didn't even jump into web development. I bought some like scammer Python course from this guy. I think the guy ended up getting sued. It was like some freelance with Python course. It made no sense to me. It was the dumbest thing ever. It was a waste of my money. But then I found web development, of course, and then PHP and HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and everything changed from there. I knew I wanted to write code. I didn't know anything about anything. So luckily there's people like me, and there's a couple other creators out there that are good to point you in the right direction. But the web runs on PHP, guys. Like, there's no getting around it. You're going to have to work with it at some point. And the good news is it's also way faster to get up and running with PHP, like I said, because all you have to do is install a server. Like, all you have to do is download MAMP or XAMPP. So I have MAMP on my computer. So let's go. I'll show it to you now. This is all you have to do to run PHP and get going here. Go to my applications. If you're on Mac, you download MAMP. If you're on Windows, you download the same program, but it's called XAMPP with an X. MAMP, right? Open MAMP. So I'm going to open my MAMP, click on my little MAMP elephant here. And all this is a simple server. This takes like 1 or 2 minutes to download max. And we go over all this. Shameless plug, I have a complete web developer course that'll show you how to do all this. I also released a course preview yesterday of the intro to my PHP course, and it'll actually show you how to get this on your computer and how to start running PHP right away fast. So go check that out. It's like 40 minutes of free premium course content. It's just basically like 7 videos all mashed together, and it just teaches you a lot about how to get started with PHP. So all you have to do after you download it is hit start. Okay, now our server's running for PHP, and then I can just create a new folder. Actually, I'm going to go in. You have to have all your PHP code within MAMP in a folder called htdocs. That's where all of your code is going to run on. So this is basically just like a dummy server to test out and build websites on your local machine before you push it to the actual real web on a server or host it somewhere. So You'll have htdocs. All your folders in there have to be in there to run it. So all you'll do, we'll just create a new folder, and we'll say PHP sandbox. Drag it into htdocs. Say yes, we want to move it in there. And then all you have to do is launch your Visual Studio Code. Remember, our server's already running. We click start. So we can just launch Visual Studio Code, drag PHP sandbox in there, and then make an index.html file. Okay. Boom. And then in here, we can write some PHP tags within our HTML. Okay. Again, this was made for the web. You don't have to do anything special. You can write PHP in HTML. So we can open up PHP tags, opening and closing, and we can just say echo, and we can say this is PHP code. And we have to do one important thing. We're used to index.html, so all you have to do to make this interpret the PHP code is literally say rename and go to, instead of .html, look at this, .php. See how my PHP logo changed? That's all I had to do. Now check this out. Let's actually launch our page. So to launch the page, we can't use live server because we're running on a different server run through MAMP. We're not going to be using the live server with Visual Studio Code like you're probably used to. But what we do, all you have to do is open up a new window in Chrome, go to localhost. Okay, now we're in like the local host running by MAMP as our little backend server. Now let's click on the new file we just made. This is taking us to htdocs by default, where I just showed you where all your folders have to be to view them on your machine. Let's go into PHP sandbox. Look at that. This is PHP code. We're running PHP code. It's that easy, guys. Like literally, you just run a program, click start, and PHP seamlessly it interacts and goes into whatever you want. So you can mix it in your HTML. We can put PHP up here. For making a real program, we would say a PHP opening, closing. We would say session start. And then we would put that same session start on any other of the web pages in our website. And that session start in PHP, what it does is that right away it allows all the pages to communicate with each other, so you can track your visitors, you can set cookies, all that stuff built right into PHP. It's all you have to do is put session start. But again, we get into all that in depth in the complete web developer course. Shameless plug again, just check that down in the description, okay? So lastly, the last thing about PHP that people don't really understand when they learn Node.js is hosting Node.js is a big pain in the ass and can be a lot more expensive than hosting PHP websites. So if I just type in Node.js hosting, let's see what comes up. So Heroku, which is free pretty much, that's a crappy one. DigitalOcean is very expensive. Have fun with that. I wonder what their plans are. It's way more expensive to use DigitalOcean for even PHP. Hostinger again. So you pretty much have to go with a premium service. Let's see what DigitalOcean was going to charge you to host a Node.js website. It's a lot more expensive. Let's see if it'll even tell us. So products. Just to show you what a giant pain in the ass this is, I don't even see Node.js here or like where to go for this. Deploy 2025. Where would I even go? Not telling me nothing. Awesome. I'm already having a great time trying to launch my Node website. This is fun. Now, on the other hand, let's go to PHP hosting. And what comes up? All of these sites. Best. Okay. So all these random hosting sites are coming up that do PHP. But I'll tell you what. Show you the regulars. It's going to be HostGator. It's going to be Bluehost. SiteGround, all the big boys that if you've done any kind of web development or made any like WordPress site, you've heard of all these guys. $375 a month to host a website. Like couldn't even find like pricing or anything for Node, but I know all these are all just shared hosting sites, and they're super cheap to get started. So you can actually deploy your website for about $4 a month, write it in PHP, which is really simple. Be up and running and building, get done with it. No screwing around. All right, so that's the other big thing people don't think about hosting. Is it easy to host a Node.js site or a Python, Django, Flask site? Like, it's a much bigger pain in the ass to get that thing hosted. All right, guys. So that's it. I just want to go over PHP, why it's the best backend language to learn, whether you're a beginner or whoever you are, if you're getting into web development. Go with PHP. Save yourself a lot of time and hassle. The only thing with PHP, and the reason that my course is full stack PHP, there's not that many great courses on it, unfortunately. So that's another part of the reason why I made my course, because it's good. So again, go to the link in the description. You'll learn HTML, CSS. You can go from knowing nothing about web development all the way to full stack PHP. If you click on Get Started on my landing page, you can see all the courses here. 426 lessons. That seems like a lot of lessons, but don't let that scare you. I purposely made all my videos 5 minutes or less for the most part, so they're very easy to follow and you don't get fatigued. A lot of courses don't do that. They'll give you 30, 45-minute, hour-long course videos for one single video. You'll have to keep hitting pause. It'll take you 3 hours to get through a 1 hour video if you're paying attention. So that's not fun. It's not a good way to learn. But anyway, we get down here, we go JavaScript, and then we hop into PHP. And we also learn databases. That's another huge thing with PHP. Databases, and they work with MySQL databases seamlessly, but PHP also connects to just about any other database out there because it was made to connect to databases. There's no hassle. You just got to put one snippet of code in there in your PHP to connect to the database. To create a new database, if you have MAMP or XAMPP and you're using PHP, all you have to do is type in localhost/phpMyAdmin. You can create database tables here. Here's the CMS database for our table that we make with our with my course when we make our content management system. It's literally that easy. SQL database right here. You can create tables, hook it up to PHP, fast. All right? Learn PHP, guys. Do not fall for the hype and the BS around the learn to code industry with Node.js or Python or any other crap. It sucks. PHP is king.